I think first of all, the problem with a lot of Arab women, I'm going to talk about Arab women first and foremost. They're really trying to have this Western kind of lifestyle. You know what I mean? They see it in the movies, and I understand because you're consuming it all the time, music videos, Netflix, this and that. They've become really confused because they're like, well, I want to have a good husband, I want to get married, I want to have a family, but then you're out in the club, you're posting, thirst traps, whatever, bikini shots on Instagram. Nobody's gonna take you seriously if you are doing it. So I feel at the same time, they're going away from their traditions, their values, their family, and focusing on things that really don't matter in the long run. You know what I mean? You can go to the club, you can have fun, but what is it actually doing? It's actually doing more damage to you than good. You know what I mean? So I think we really have a generation of very confused girls. Like, oh, I didn't have my freedom for so long. We didn't have rights for so long. So now I just want to do anything and everything I want.
There's no limit.
Because the men were doing it, so now we have to do it too. No, we don't really have to do it because it's doing more damage to us. Like, if I post a bikini picture of myself on Instagram, who's really enjoying this bikini picture? Am I gonna be like, oh, I feel so good about myself? Well, if you feel good about yourself, you don't need to post it for old creeps to be looking at your bikini pictures. You know what I mean? So I just feel like they're confused overall, and they're focusing a lot on looks and not doing anything with their lives. Influencers.
Yeah, they've indoctrinated women, and they've done it really smart. They've indoctrinated women into thinking that freedom comes from expression of sexual liberation,
100%.
but that only makes you a commodity for men. That you're actually becoming more oppressed in the process, because if I'm there making a living out of my body, essentially my consumers are men. I have to meet a man's standard. Right now I don't make, or never, inshallah never, but I don't make a living from my body. So therefore I have the freedom to look how I want to look. But if I had an OnlyFans, or if I was out posting thirst traps, I would have to bear in mind a man's preference with every decision I make. Clothes, makeup, body, BBLs, all of this stuff. I would have to think, what do men like? And I'd have to cater to that. So this freedom, this illusion of freedom, is actually just making you far more oppressed to male dominance, and you become a product of male preferences, and it's more embarrassing than anything. It's the opposite of liberating. And what I always say to people who kind of suggest that the East is oppressed and stuff, and I said, but measure life satisfaction. Who's happier, the girl that's got an OnlyFans or doing porn, or the woman who's living in Kashmir, where I'm from, with her kids and family and has a purpose? The girl who's doing OnlyFans, these men are not going to come to your funeral. No one's going to care. Whereas that woman who's looking after her children, she's got a legacy, and there's nothing more beautiful than that. And you're telling me my culture is oppressive when I find your culture humiliating. And so that's where my kind of anti-feminism came from, because I was just constantly being told that I'm oppressed, when I could not feel more liberated when I don't post like that, and I don't live that lifestyle, and I don't drink, and I don't frivolously like date or anything like that. So I was just tired of being told that I'm oppressed, when I feel far more liberated than these women who are genuinely oppressed through the idea of catering to men.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree.